People deluded, I'm back again. Now, obviously, we've obviously seen Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah's failed move to Germany, and obviously Emil Smith-Rowe's now gone out to Germany, as well as other players going there on loan and permanently from England. I thought I'd offer my opinions on Arsenal, and maybe I might touch on general points if you pick it up, but it is what it is. I think the loan spell, I've always said it. I've said Arsenal, I swear I made a vid on this. I said Arsenal would be better off sending players to Bundesliga and to a degree Holland. I know Zelalem didn't have the best of loan spells, and Crowley's having benefits there, playing in Holland on a permanent basis now as he matures up. But it was a bit of a so-so period for him. That being said, it was better than his spells. He showed initial promise on loan clubs in England. But yeah, I'm all for it, man. Now, I'm not saying clubs in Germany aren't trying to fight relegation, aren't trying to fight with English clubs and things like that. But for me anyways, they give more of a chance over the Championship and League One and things. Now, I get it. The Championship, people are trying to fight relegation, save jobs. People are trying to get out of the league. So they need fighters, whether they're young or old. Typically, it tends to the more experienced side because a lot of football managers don't have much time as professional managers at clubs. So they need to do what they can. Or if they can pick a player that's going to give them 5 out of 10 performances and not necessarily do anything to win them games, they'll pick them over a young player which might give 2 7 out of 10s, 1 10 out of 10 for the first 3 weeks, and then he plays 2 out of 10 and has to get hooked at half time for the rest of them 10 games, or when it adds up to 10. So I can see why. That's why people come in and out of sides. And obviously as well, Arsenal, not to gas us because we don't do it more differently than everyone else, but we develop a lot of technical based players. All our strengths are a bit more technical. If you look at Chelsea, they're technical and physical, really and truly. Sheffield United, it's all about spirit and how you fight. Spurs, I think Spurs are a bit different because I think they like technical quality, but they like their players to be a bit gassed. Like if you look at Tom Carroll, Pritchard, to a degree, Mason, Skip and Winks, they all play differently, but they all kind of played the same. You can see how Spurs coach their players to play a certain sort of way, which I call Spursy. So yeah, we produce a lot of creative players. Typically, they're good technicians, but when the game's against them or they need to be fitted in the side, they're not going to have the best of runs in the side when they go on loan to clubs which don't quite frankly care for their development. So they typically go in and out of the side, bit of form, bit of not. And you've seen it, man. You've seen it with, obviously it was in Scotland, but Zelalem had good performances, but it was rather indifferent. Crowley as well at Barnsley, at Oxford, he showed patches. Many of our players have showed in patches what they can do, but loans in England haven't really been beneficial to us, to be honest with you, for our players. So I get it sending them to Germany, because I think German sides, about to say Belgium, they get youth development better. They have less money. I wouldn't say they have less money than the Championship sides, but they pride developing and saving their own coins. So with that being said, they can take better care. It's a better league than the Championship. There's no way around it. It's more technical based. It allows you to thrive more, and it's a higher standard league. It's one of the top 5 leagues in the world. So if my players can get the chance to play against, don't get me wrong, you play against some horrendous sides in the Bundesliga, but if they can play potentially against Schalke, Bayern Munich, Gladbach, pardon me, people, Dortmund, because of their form they're in currently, that's a mad benefit. If they can get top league experience, then why not? If some of these German teams are in Europa League and I think Emil Smith, for example, will be eligible, but if they can get experience, then why not? Not many teams in the Championship are giving young players chances. Now, I say that, but we got to be fair. Derby and Lampard are doing their thing. Norwich have given a couple. Leeds as well. And if I've missed you out, there's a couple clubs, giving chances, but too often they're not. It's about fighting. It's about the nitty and gritty, and that's not necessarily for young players to develop, and not a place really for young players to develop. I know a lot of people will say Mason Mount. If you look at Mason Mount at Derby, and that's quite frankly true, he is playing very well, and you would say his talent's a bit more technical based. But if you look at his own development and the backdrop against it. Did he not go on loan to Vitesse? Now, I'm not getting at the league or the club. Do you get what I'm saying? But he went to Vitesse. He played in Europa League. He played in a technical-based league where a team wanted to win stuff, or the fans wanted to win on the Sunday or whatever. And he was able to build that development. He stayed there for 2 years or something. Now, of course, he's able to thrive within the contexts of the Championship because he already knows what it's like to fight. He's already got some consistency into his game. Obviously, it helps that he's gone on the Lampard, someone that shares his Chelsea link up and then things there. But you get the point. There's not too many chances with that. Davy Brooks. yeah, you saw him at Sheffield United do his thing, and then he's obviously killing it at Bournemouth. But when Sheffield got him, he was released by Man City. He wasn't initially put into the side. They took their time with him, developed a development program, actually made a random run of fixtures were implemented for him to be able to get football and stuff. So he is essentially, I wouldn't say he's playing in his own league, but games are being created, friendlies are being created with sides purely just for him to develop. How many sides are doing that now? It paid off for Sheffield because they went and made a healthy profit on the lad. But how many sides do that? And to be fair in the Championship, how many sides have time for that? Because if you're a newly promoted Championship side, or if you're on the brink of relegation, it's a madness. Again, I don't know how it all works, but I can guarantee the parachute plan when you drop out of the Championship into League One isn't going to be with the Premier League is. And a lot of teams in the Championship, you see that Premier League, when they drop into the Championship, sometimes they never come back and they slowly walk into the abyss. So we're going against a dynamic. That's in regards to the context. We know, and I do feel as well in regards to youth management, we know the Football League from top to bottom is filled with dinosaurs. It's filled with dinosaurs, and they make the same patterns. They do the same patterns in terms of signing these same proven talents and things like that. So maybe until thinking collectively changes, I don't know when it would happen, because again, it's a melting pot. Everyone's trying to escape the same league. I don't know when it would happen. Apologies about that, people, but I'm all for sending our players to Germany on loan, to be fair with you. I think that's the new thing, and I feel if it's Mertesacker exploiting his German context and his German nationality to get us this, then fair play, man. I think it might be worth even establishing a feeder club there and trying to do this Vitesse thing in Germany, essentially. Maybe that will help us build a link up with clubs and exploit them for promising youngsters on our end so everybody's back can be scratched. I don't know, but for now, people deluded. Pardon me. I'm out.